Totally baseless.
Hey, it's Totally Baseless, where we talk about the news you don't hear anywhere else in a way that you definitely haven't heard before. My name's John, and with me is a former member of the band Rancid. Dan, how you doing?
I'm just happy to be here.
All right. And the only guy who could replace Gilbert Gottfried's voice, Dave, how you doing?
Hey.
Exactly.
I'm black.
Yeah, you know, he got kicked out of being the voice for the Affleck duck.
Yeah, forgot what it was that he said.
Yeah.
Anybody remember? He said something.
He had some tweets that we won't repeat here. But he was also Iago in that Disney Aladdin.
Yeah, he was the parrot.
He was a parrot. That's how we know him.
And he apparently did like the filthiest version of like that aristocrats joke.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Among his great comedy, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you call that? The aristocrats.
That's an actual recreation of how it went.
I cleaned it up. I just said the punchline, not the setup.
Yeah. Well, you can watch the movie. It's called The Aristocrats, right? The movie?
Yeah.
Not the Aristocats. You might get a different version.
Yeah. Bob Saget. I think Bob Saget was in it, and he said a pretty filthy one.
Oh, Bob Saget. Another one who just passed away.
Yeah. I think anyone who tells that joke is doomed to die.
Eventually.
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 Everyone
will die.
Eventually die.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll come back and check on that in 50 years. Well, one thing that Gilbert Gottfried didn't do was disrupt an airline flight, but there's plenty of people who are doing that for him. One guy, he apparently had some kind of mental breakdown. He had a paranoia-fueled fit, they said, and he was restrained partially by being hit in the head twice with a coffee pot.
Mr. Coffee saves the day. Yes. Way to go, Joe DiMaggio.
You did the old commercials for Mr. Coffee?
Yes, I am dating myself.
Yes. Well, it's someone's dating you at least.
Joe DiMaggio?
Hey, it's okay. We can say gay.
I guess this is a result of people, not being allowed to drink enough before they get on the flights. Now they're just going straight to the paranoia. They're like skipping the booze-filled rage.
Or maybe he saw gremlins on the wings of the airplane. Twilight Zone.
Yeah, good Twilight Zone reference, right? That was William Shatner.
Bill Shatner,
the original.
Yep.
I can call him Bill.
There is something on the plane.
The best part of the story, though, isn't the guy having the meltdown, which is becoming kind of standard these days if people just having fits from no matter what. It's the actual the reaction by the flight attendant was to beat the crap out of him with the coffee pot, which is awesome.
Bonked him on the head with the coffee pot. and then everybody joins in, right, to help. Everybody lined up to get their turn at whacking the guy a few times. No, we're restraining him.
That's also like completely badass now that we're like, if it happens on land, people like look away and aren't willing to help. But for some reason, if it happens on an airplane, it's like carte blanche to beat the crap out of somebody.
Yeah, you don't see this happening on buses very much, even though I don't know if the quality of passengers is any better.
In the air, you're a hero. On land, you're assaulting somebody.
Yeah. Depends the mode of transportation. Yeah.
How many times have you been arrested for hitting people with a coffee pot?
I'd like to think this played out like Airplane, where they just like all lined up. There's a guy with the metal pipe coming in next, and somebody just like slapping the dude around.
They're pulling Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out of the cockpit. Hey, wait a minute. What's he doing here?
Listen, kid, I'm not Kareem. Leave me alone.
You try running up and down the court for 48 minutes.
Like a Bill Walton.
Yeah, it was Bill Walton, he said, right? Leaning up against you or whatever, carrying Bill Walton on you. Well, the FAA is getting sick of this too. They just issued their highest fine yet for an unruly passenger. This is for a woman on an American Airlines flight who was duct taped to her seat for pushing flight attendants, trying to open the cabin door. And she was fined $81,950, the largest fine to date.
which is also the exact amount of what a drink cost her on the flight. So
It ended up costing her that much. Yeah.
Maybe she really wanted just to get off the flight, because I'm a Karen and I can do whatever I want.
well, it goes back to the bus thing again. People just think, oh, I can get off here. She's like, I rang the bell. They wouldn't let me off.
I want to stop here. I've always wanted to see the Grand Canyon from really up high.
Once again, duct tape fixes everything.
Now a
Every,
restraining device.
all the airline flight attendants will be issued a roll of duct tape. Yeah.
The roll of duct tape and a
Tape
coffee pot.
there you go.
We won't tell you what these two things are for, but you'll
There
know
you
what to do.
go. These are your weapons.
Basic flight attendant training. Here you go.
Your coffee pot and your duct tape.
Yeah, the two most widely used things in the universe. As long as you have coffee and duct tape, you can do anything.
A coffee pot, a very sturdy coffee pot.
Maybe dirty coffee pot.
Maybe Starbucks can start sponsoring the flights.
Yeah, if you get on a flight sponsored by Starbucks, you best sit in your motherfucking seat the whole time. They're not fooling around.
It's like, hey, don't waste it on the passenger. I want to drink some of that.
Because they have those metal coffee pots. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's well, something's got to stop these people. There was a record high 1,099 investigations into unruly passenger reports in 2021.
And that was only for one flight, right?
That would be a bad flight. Yeah.
it was Spirit Airlines to Cancun, I believe. It was-
With a connection on a Spirit to Frontier connection.
well, there was also like a Canadian airline. I guess they flew down a bunch of like kids down on spring break, and then they just like they're all like raging on the flight, whatever. So they refused to fly them back. They took them down to Mexico, and like the tour group's like, "You're fucked. You're staying in Mexico. You didn't abide by our rules." The airline just left them there.
Yeah, I think
It's
they
like-
didn't want to wear a mask. Right.
Yeah,
It's like that scene from Wolf of Wall Street when they're flying to Europe and they're just high off of Quaaludes or something, and it's just a mess. They're attacking the stewardesses. They had to restrain them. But yeah,
You'll
Maybe
get a
like-
fine
yeah.
now.
yeah.
Be
Yeah,
careful.
pay the fine. Pay the fine as long as I can harass the stewardess or flight attendant.
This is not the position of totally baseless, by the way.
if you're joining midstream, if that's all you hear, we don't agree with that part.
Yes. All right. So, well, unfortunately, these aren't the only people doing stupid things. We have a candidate for stupidest thief of the year. A guy was trying to steal a catalytic converter. And if you've been watching or you've been a victim, you know that this has become like, for some reason, a big crime just lately. The past year or so, this has really shot up. People stealing the catalytic converter for like precious metals. I think palladium is one of the main ones, but other ones as well. But this guy, maybe he was a bit of an amateur at this because when he tried to steal this catalytic converter, the car started moving and ran him over, and he ended up getting killed.
This is like a NASCAR pit crew fail, right? This guy is not going to be on the team.
Yeah, that-
Well, he's dead now, so no, he won't.
Were those like the tryouts for like the Let's Go Brandon team? Those guys?
Yeah. Or is this the new version of stealing the copper wiring off construction sites? Because that
It
was a
is
thing
kind of
for a
like
while.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
still a thing.
Yeah, but that would be like stealing the copper wiring from a construction site from like the 80th floor and then jumping off.
They don't say if the car was at a red light or not.
Or maybe the driver saw him and decided, you know what, payback's a bitch.
Yeah, I think this was like dude's like first day and like he skipped a couple of pages. How to steal a catalytic converter. Oh, wait, you have to wait for the car to not be running?
He was in a hurry.
I ain't got time to wait for no car to stop.
I need my money now.
I mean, my palladium.
That.
Yeah.
So,
So
any chance was this guy in Florida?
no. This one was in somewhere in LA County, apparently. Oh no,
was gonna-
Sacramento. Sorry,
I was gonna say California.
in Sacramento. Yeah.
It's a California
Sacramento
thing.
is the Tampa of California, I believe that is its preferred.
Yeah. I don't think people outside. I don't think many people outside of Sacramento are going to stand up and defend them. Well, one car that you're going to have a little bit of trouble stealing a catalytic converter from is an electric car. But if you do want to try to get one, the Tesla Roadster is probably the most expensive one you can get, I think. They're going for the Founders Edition is going for $250,000. There's 1,000 of them, and you have to pay the full amount. It'll end up being like 4 years ahead of time because it won't come out till sometime in 2023. And now for the standard version, which is only down to $200,000, you have to put a $50,000 deposit on this car, and you're going to be waiting at least a year for this car, probably more like 2.
P.T. Barnum, I mean, Elon Musk is laughing all the way to the bank. There's a sucker born every minute, right?
Yeah, now there's people paying for imaginary cars. This is awesome. It's like you were so rich that you're buying an imaginary car.
It's the Founders Edition. It comes with a flux capacitor. I mean, why not, right? It's all hypothetical. He's never going to actually make one.
Yeah. Would you like it with flying or non-flying options as well?
250,000.
Not all features guaranteed.
This is like a new Ponzi scheme, right? I mean, every time this guy needs money, he decides to open up more non-refundable deposits on cars that he's never going to make.
Yeah, you special editions. That's
like
even better. Oh, would you want the special edition?
For $1,000, you can be a totally baseless sponsor of
Exactly.
episode number 1,000.
Yes, make all checks payable to the Prince of Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, he just spent what? He just bought like 9% of Twitter. So he needs to make money somehow. Hey, all of a sudden, we're opening up non-refundable deposits for the Tesla Roadsters.
Yeah.
That'll never come.
Now, this looks like an amazing car, though. It'll go 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, which will make it the fastest production car in the world.
It can also time travel. It can also time travel. He can say whatever he wants to say about it because he's never going to make one.
Yeah. It comes equipped with laser beams and a unicorn for all we know. What the fuck?
Lasers on their freaking skulls.
Crapping rainbows out of their ass. I mean,
is this like rich people having way too much money though? I have so much money, I'm going to pay ahead of time for a car that doesn't even exist.
Yes, it's the ultimate, hey, look at me. 5 years later, right? The guys from 2017 they don't have anything to show for it. But they did get to say they were one of the first ones to get hustled by Elon Musk. They got their free t-shirt.
Yeah. I got fucked over by Elon Musk and all I got was his t-shirt.
Hey, but Elon Musk, we said it before, 4D chess, my buddy. 4D chess.
He ends up ahead, that's for sure. Yeah. So if you, just for those first 1,000 cars, the Founders Edition, $250,000 have been paid. So that means just for those 1,000 cars, he got $250 million of basically a 0% advance for 4 or 5 years.
It's non-refundable though, right? So that's free money. That's how he bought Twitter, or 9% of Twitter, I bet.
Maybe there'll be another car coming. Yeah.
You could just easily say these are the ones that they were being shipped over on that cargo ship with all the other luxury cars that sank. We're like, oh, we had all the Founders Edition, but they sank.
He wanted to go into space, or those free terminals that he gave the Ukraine. They weren't really free, right? He had to make the money somehow.
Wait, what is that crow sound in the background?
It's
Who is
a crow
that?
in my backyard.
It's the Raven.
You're outside. Okay. Nevermore.
Nevermore.
I thought my wife was somewhere in the background.
Came out rapping at my chamber door.
Well, I'm sure the Tesla Roadster will come out. They are working on it. He does take a little bit longer than he promises, but they're still pretty big goals that he makes. So I guess we'll see that sometime next year, along with the Tesla Semi. It's supposed to come out also. So
The Cybertruck also.
the Cybertruck, yeah, I know a few people who have a refundable deposit on the Cybertruck.
Yeah, that one transforms into a robot that fights for you, right? Is that what?
Well, that's if you pay for the Founders Edition of the Cybertruck,
Yes.
or otherwise known as the Suckers Edition.
Oh man,
He's like, I'm an immigrant. I get these words mixed up all the time.
he is an immigrant, yeah, from South Africa via Canada.
In Canada, founder means jackass.
It's the pronunciation difference. Well, let's get back to our favorite states. We're going to do a little bit of a Florida, best of Florida for just in the past week, mind you. Babysitter in Florida put a 4-year-old in a dryer and spun it around a few times. The kid said that Miss Amber put him in the dryer with some towels. He had a few bruises. They can't identify that those were the bruises from the dryer, but she has been arrested.
He did smell Downy Fresh when he was released, so that was that.
That was some evidence, right?
Florida version of daycare, I think. Just put him in the dryer, let him go round and round, keep him busy for 30 minutes.
Yeah. They couldn't. That's when they can't afford like an iPad for the kids, so you just stick them in the dryer, I guess.
I thought we were going to Disney World.
This is. You're on a spinning ride. It's going round and round. You got a little dizzy. It's like you're on Dumbo.
The Revolution, yeah, it's a roller coaster.
Which now makes me wonder, when we were kids and our parents said they took us to Disneyland, did we really go to Disneyland?
I just remember going round and round and smelling April Fresh.
I don't think we ever actually went.
But my
sock stuck to my head.
But my clothes smell fresh.
Yep, Child Protection Services showed up, obviously, and checked the kid out. It seems like he's going to be okay. And the parents said they're going to cut the babysitter's pay next time they have him watch the kid.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be getting
one bag of meth.
I don't think she'll be
down from 2 bags, huh?
It's a hell of a drug. Yeah, I don't think she'll be getting any more babysitting gigs. Well, it's Florida, so yes, maybe she will.
Well, maybe some of the kids were in the dryer a bit too long, because a couple of teenagers were playing with some body armor and a gun. So one shot the other one with the body armor and ended up killing him. The 17-year-old shot a 15-year-old, and he ended up going to the hospital and then dying. So apparently, I don't know it doesn't say where they got the body armor, or if this was a legit body armor or it was just cardboard. But they're looking at the kid for manslaughter charges.
No word on whether the cause of death was one bullet shot to the face.
Yes,
but I was wearing body armor.
Yeah, maybe that was the problem. Aimed a little bit high. Is that what you're saying?
These guys are Florida men in training.
I think this is like the pinnacle of Florida man. It's like, let's shoot each other because we're wearing body armor.
It's I think there was 3 of them, right? Dumb, Dumber, and Dumbest.
That's right. There was a 15, 16, and 17-year-old. The 15-year-old who got shot, the 16-year-old witnessed the shooting and initially lied to police about what happened. And it doesn't say here, but also maybe peed his pants.
One of them, I don't know which one, was recording it. And that was their downfall, right? Because teenagers record everything and put it on TikTok. Because if it's not on social media, it didn't happen.
So we're like, they trying to like do a dance to it? Was there like some bad like techno song in the background?
Maybe the 15-year-old owed the other 2 money.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he was set up, right? Because they shot him once, and then the one guy looked at the other guy, and then he shot 4 more times.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I was like, hey, wait a minute. It worked once. How about 4 more times?
It's just a warning. If you happen to owe friends some money and they decide to play this new challenge with you, run away.
And the body armor says something like Amazon on the outside of it.
Made in China. The thing with body armor is once it's been used once, you got to get new armor.
Like a helmet, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Once you crash, right, and you hit your head on the ground when the helmet protects you, you got to get a new helmet.
So you're telling me these guys weren't experts in armoring and ballistics?
These guys weren't experts in life.
Well, they were teenagers.
Hey, I got this awesome used body armor.
Exactly.
It was in the trash behind the police department. So Florida has not let us down yet again. So we'll have plenty to talk about next week. If Florida, Tennessee, and politicians still exist. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you next time.
Nevermore. Ah!